กายที่เธอมองเห็นว่างามสุดท้ายความเสื่อมทรามจะมาพรากไปร่วงโรยลงในสายทานยามการเวลาหมุนไปชีวิตต้องแตกสลายไม่มีเที่ยงแท้ผมเส้นงามถึงคราวร่วงไปแขนขาที่เคยว่องไวกลับไร้เรี่ยวแรงโรคภัยเฝ้าคอยคุกคามติดตามไปในทุกแห่งเกิดแก่เจ็บตายสำแดงเป็นธรรมดาหากเธอมองทุกการเกิดมาที่มีอย่างลึกซึ้ง
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning again.
Good morning. Good to see you early. Are you in the campus or in Myanmar?
Yes, I'm in Myanmar again.
Oh.
It's good in Myanmar just now.
The situation is okay?
No, okay, the situation not good again.
No, not only COVID now, some other problems also.
Yes.
Okay.
There are many COVID-19 and not only the COVID-19.
Yeah. Any disturbance from the governor or the ruler or
Yes,
the coup?
there are two coups, the public government and the army, Myanmar army government is no good.
Now, no more fighting, right? Now everybody is okay. Okay, maybe just wait and see.
Maybe sorry, my internet is no good.
Internet not
I
so
will
good.
come back, yes.
Yeah, okay. If you can join, it's okay. If cannot, no problem. Try to do as much as you can. Okay.
Yes, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn. Understand for me.
Okay, because the situation is okay. No one wanted to get this trouble, but
Yes.
everywhere around the world is still have the problem. Either it's COVID-19 or either it's political unrest or either it's economic suffering, everything for this day. But what shall we do? We have only one thing we can do, that to prove the teachings of Lord Buddha, that if we've been born, then we will be suffering again. No matter who you are, just being born, then suffering is following. The suffering is not just only by the rakaki, dosaki, mohaki, chati dukkha, chara marana, soka paridewa, dukkha tomanasa upayasa. The suffering because of the mankind, also because of the way of thinking we call the view or the thought, is everywhere. That to prove the teachings of Lord Buddha, just you being born, then you are ready to face the suffering. How to go beyond the suffering? Even the Lord Buddha have mentioned himself, reminding to everyone who been born into this planet or elsewhere in 31 realms of being. No one go beyond the suffering. If we are in joy of the burning, sorry, of being born again, we will be facing to any suffering surrounding us. Not just only suffering because of the hungry, But the sufferings also can be any causes of suffering. Too much rain, suffering. Too much cold, suffering. Too much hot is also suffering. Just have enough for the sufficiency economy, still suffering. Still we have not enough, we still suffering. Even someone who is very, very rich, the most richest of the world, if they die, they could not carry on just a single penny along with them. That to prove that even the day is coming, no one can go beyond the day. Only a few days may admit in the hospital, or maybe a few years admit in a hospital. The doctor can help only for a few years, a few decades to serve, to protect the life from the wounds of the burns and being bones and death. But until the last, at least one will die. That to prove the teachings of Lord Buddha. No one go beyond the suffering. But the teachings of Lord Buddha will give us the knowledge, the wisdom, how to live our life with the suffering, with the less suffering, or with no suffering, or even though we have to live with the suffering, but how to make the life less suffering. According to the teachings of Buddha, to understand the truth, because the suffering, the Lord Buddha say only that the suffering, nothing we can do much, only we have to understand or to know the suffering. No one can avoid, no one can jumping, no one can run away from the suffering without the Four Noble Truth. Only the one who is understand the Four Noble Truth, that is the one who can jump away, who can escaping away, who can go beyond the suffering. According to the teachings of Lord Buddha on the Satipatthana Sutta, Kaya Anupassana Satipatthana, Vedana Anupassana Satipatthana, Chitta Anupassana Satipatthana, and Dhamma Anupassana Satipatthana. That is only the way, very short way, very direct way. According to the Satipatthana Sutta, the way to practice Atapi, Sampachano, Satima, Vinaya Loke. This is the reminding to everyone who born into this planet or another planet, no matter which planet, it will be stuck with the suffering. No one go beyond the suffering except one who understands the Four Noble Truth. That is mentioned by the Lord Buddha, that only the way to go beyond the suffering, that to understand the number 4 of the Four Noble Truth, that is called the Nirodhakamini Patipatha or Dukkha Nirodhakamini Patipatha. That is the path leading to the cessation of suffering. He have investigated, he have researched by himself through 45 years through his life, through eons and eons, to prove, to let us know that the one who will go beyond the suffering, there is only a way, Eightfold Noble Path, threefold teachings, or known as the Four Noble Truth. Today is the February 9, 2021, or 2564 for the Buddhist era. Up to the pass away of Lord Buddha, 2564 years up to now, the teachings of Lord Buddha are still available, and to prove the truth that no one go beyond the suffering without the Four Noble Truth. The Four Noble Truths, only the truth, only the way can carry on anyone or any being to go beyond the suffering. Without the Four Noble Truth, we will be struggling and smugglings and sufferings as a beast or animal, or any kinds of the species around the world or around the universes. No one go beyond the suffering without the Eightfold Noble Path or the Four Noble Truth. If we are still being born, that means we are the prisoners of the universes. We are the prisoners of the universes. The prisoners are waiting for the execution, no matter who they are, the leaders, the followers, the slave, the laborers, male and female, no matter, not just only human being, even the other beings also, they are waiting for the execution. The execution, maybe there is no one going to make the execution, but the circle of life and death is the executioner or the executor. The one is going to kill. No one can go beyond this. When we are getting to know through our eye, through our ear, through our nose, through our tongue, through our physical bodies and mental body, doesn't matter how the information, the knowledge, the wisdom, even the wisdom itself, it still cause us to be suffering. We are learning right now because we are searching and smuggling for the wisdom. But this is the great wisdom. This is the great wisdom, the wholesome, the good deeds. We carry on our determination to go beyond the suffering. This is only the way, have mentioned by Lord Buddha, to prove, to make sure, to guarantee to every being that without the Eightfold Noble Path, without the Four Noble Truth, without threefold teachings of Lord Buddha, doesn't matter which Buddha, this Buddha, the Gautama, the Buddha, or another Buddhas, the same. Every Buddha had gained the same, the Four Noble Truth. If we understand the situations of suffering, we will motivate ourselves, we will cultivate ourselves, we will inspire ourselves, we will encourage ourselves. We must be aware about the suffering, because the suffering itself, suffering, because the suffering is also always changing due to the causes. The causes create suffering. The suffering is coming when the cause of the suffering is cut off. The seed of the suffering or the end of the suffering is coming. Even the suffering itself, nothing permanent. But to go beyond the suffering is with our effort, along with the right view, along with the right thought, along with the right speech, along with the right action, along with the right livelihood, along with the right effort, along with the right mindfulness, and with the right concentration. This is to improve, to prove to every being that if we are aware about the dangers, we are aware about the suffering, doesn't matter, through our eye, through our ear, through our nose, through our mouth, through our physical body, through our mental suffering is coming with all these ayatana. The ayatana mean the connection between the eye to the object, the ear to the sound, the nose to the smell, the tongue to the taste, the physical body to the touching, the mental body to the Dhammaram or Dhammaramana. It can come from any part of our body, because our body, they are 6 channel or 6 gate. The gate will always welcome to every kinds of suffering. But how? How do we understand? How do we rewrite? How do we go beyond the suffering? Without the Four Noble Truth, no other ways. Even the leaders of the country, even the leaders of the world, even the leaders of the universe, as Lord Buddha have mentioned that no one go beyond the suffering. Only the way to go out of the suffering. That means to go beyond the suffering through the Four Noble Truth. If we understand all these things, we will make sure that we will go beyond the suffering that we are learning since we were born. We are learning, but through the first teachers, fathers and mothers, the second teachers surrounding our friend, our school, and now we are learning with the great masters of the billions of the universes, that Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha, he have mentioned that the gods and goddesses around the universes have greeting to him that อิติปิโสภะคะวาอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธวิชชาจารณสัมปันโนสุขโตโลกวิทูอนุตตโรปุริสธัมมัสสารถิสัทธาเดวมนุสสานังพุทโธภะคะวะติ
Good morning, Ajahn.
Good morning.
How
Now,
are you, Ajahn?
Okay, I'm greeting to the Lord Buddha for
Good,
the
Ajahn.
qualifications of Lord Buddha. And
Yes.
due to the situation surroundings around the world, we are not just only suffering because of the COVID-19, but we have suffering with another kinds of suffering surrounding us around the world. And we are the prisoners of the universes, or we are the prisoners of the circle of births and rebirths. Births and rebirth mean we are the executioner. Sorry, we are the slaughter. We are going to be slaughtered. We are going to be slaughtering by the day, and we will reborn again, and then we will be slaughtering again. But for now, we are torturing. We are torturing. We are touching through the eye, through the ear, through the nose, through the tongue, through the physical body, and through mental body. We are torturing. We are touching. We are suffering by being born. Welcome to everyone again. Welcome to the class now. There are 16 been joining. We have to wait some other friend for a few more minutes. Then I'll hand over to you for the next speaker, who is going to present the topics about Mangala Sutta, or auspiciousness about the Mangala Sutta to everyone. I hope that today some of you have been preparing for the speech today. And now we have 17 been joining. Win Studio, Vara, Uyana, Tai Tai, Sertaisi, Chan, Gai, Shaukam, Panya Samwamsa, Mamale, Kuleng, Kun Kuang, Chao Sandao Vara, Chao Yanawamsha, Chao Nanda Min, Chao Kolinda, B. Vinaya, Bernard Excel, Akasina, and now one more is coming, 1819. Welcome to everyone again. Probably we have to wait for some other friend for a few more minutes. During we are waiting, I have been talking about the situations of the crisis of the world, especially for the world leaders. The world leaders who trying to do the best for our living, our life, but sometimes we like, sometimes we dislike. It depends on the view. We don't want to complain who is good and who is bad, because the good and bad, the qualifications of good and bad will be understanding by the scholars. The good and bad understanding by the viewer. The good and bad will understand by the individual conceptions. The good and bad will be understood by all the seers around the world. Who is good and who is bad, one must understand by oneself. But our duty, according to the Mangala Sutta, we have to follow Asivana Japalanam, Pantitan and Jasevana, Pucha Japuchaniyanam, Etam Kalamuttamam. That's
And good morning,
our
Ajahn,
duty.
again.
Good morning, sir.
The
Now,
internet does not work, Ajahn, in Myanmar.
okay. And when it's work, then you can be watched again on the YouTube, okay?
Yes, Ajahn.
Try your best. Try your best. Because don't worry, because the internet is invented by the human being. And no matter, even the human being itself is still suffering. But why not internet? Internet itself is suffering. But we have to understand the natures of the internet. When we understand the natures of the internet, the same like we are taking good care of the baby. If we are taking care of the baby, doesn't matter. The baby, the youngest children, or the babies in our mind, the babies as our mind. Sometimes our mind is very much acting like a baby. Sometimes we can be satisfying, sometimes we cannot be satisfying, sometimes we are like, sometimes we are in the mood of dislike, sometimes our mood is in pleasures, sometimes our mood is in sad, sorrow, lamentation, or body pain, or mental pain. Sometimes not just only that, even the Mahabhuta Rupa for the Pathavi mean the earth, for the Apo mean the water, for the winds mean the air, for the fire mean our warm in body, or our heat in body. Sometimes it's not satisfying themselves. Between them, among them, sometimes the waters dislike the earth. Sometimes the earth dislike water. Sometimes the wind, the air dislike the fire. Sometimes the fire dislike the air and the wind. That make the body pain. That make the body sick. Nothing, nothing, everything, not a single thing, everything. Nothing can be permanent. But how? How do we have to do? Four Noble Truth. Only the one who understands the Four Noble Truth, that's the one who can overcome the suffering. How? how to overcome, how to know the Four Noble Truths. We have already learned there are duty according to the Four Noble Truths. The first duty, dukkha satya. What shall we do? What should we do? What we must do with dukkha satya? Dukkha satya is everything. We already born. That means we are already have dukkha satya. Then what shall we do with the dukkha satya?
Good morning, Ajahn.
Good morning, Johnny.
Sorry for being late.
It's okay. Thank you for coming too.
Yes.
And now we have about 24 joining, and I have been a little bit introductions about the crisis of the world leader, but no mention to whom, because each one have one own leader. Johnny, do you have
Yes.
your one own leader?
Leader? Our
Yeah,
own leader?
your own leader in your body, in your, we call the phenomena, the form and phenomena. You have the leaders in your own. What is your leader? In Thai we call สี่คนหาม3 คนแห่2 คนนั่งแคร่2 คนนั่งแคร่1 คนพาไป sorry 1 คนนั่งแคร่2 คนพาไป4 คนหาม mean the 4 elements. You know the 4 elements, Johnny?
No, I don't, Ajahn.
Johnny, you are true Johnny. Mostly Johnny is a Western name, right?
Yes.
And Western name, they are not much learning about Buddhism, but many Western. For example, like Venerable Pra Promva Vichirayan, the Venerable Sumedo Bhikkhu from England, and he ordained to become disciples of Luang Cha. Now he's getting old. Now he's going back to England, and his duty probably to preach the people in England how to understand the Four Noble Truths. But maybe we call the natures according to the reminding of Lord Buddha that hurry up, bhikkhu. The day might come to anyone in any minute. No one can go beyond the day. Then the Lord Buddha have said this. That means reminding everyone to understand the natures of born and being born and reborn again. Then I talk about the Four Noble Truths. We have the duty. We have our duty. We have our duty. And our duties, we have the leaders. Who is the leaders of our duties and our body? The duties, according to the teachings of Buddha in Dhammapada. You know Dhammapada? Anyone know about the Dhammapada? Anyone? What's meaning Dhammapada?
Nobody?
Nobody?
Monk. Please.
How about the Venerable? Dhammapada?
Sorry.
And Venerable?
Dhammapada is, I think, the light of the Buddha.
Dhammapada, the life of Buddha?
Yes. Is it right or wrong? I didn't know.
Oh, not yet. Not right yet. And how the Venerable who's been in the Parian or Pali, higher in Pali. Dhammapatha have mentioned that Mano Kupangama Dhamma Mano Setha Mano Maya Manasa Je Badutte na Basa Diwa Karotiwa Tato Nang Dukamanewati Jakang Wawahatanti Jakang Wawahato Badanti sorry Jakang Wawahato Badanti. The Lord Buddha have mentioned in Dhammapatha. Do anyone understand it? What is the Dhammapatha? Dhammapatha means the part of the scholars in Pali. Most of the students in Pali have to study with this slope, or we call Pattaya. What we are learning about the Pali Prosody, right? That Mano Kupangama Dhamma, Mano Setha, Mano Maya, the same like Asivana Japalanam, Pantitan and Jasevana, Puja Pujaniyanam Etamang Kalamutamang. This is the fruitions of the Pali Prosodies we call Pattaya. And Mano Kupangama Dhamma mean the leaders of one is one own mind. Mr. Johnny have the leaders is the soul or the mind. What is the mind? What is the mind or the soul? In
Mine is
Pali,
Chitta.
Chitta. Very good. In Pali, we call Chitta. What is the meaning of Chitta? Anyone know?
Chitta is we understand the sin.
We
hear
understand
sin.
the thing, or we know the thing. Very good. Venerable Kun Kuang. Mean the thing in our body we have divided into two parts, right? The first part we call the form or the phenom, and the second part we call the phenomenon, or mean the mental part. The physical part we call the form. The physical is composed with the four elements.
Internet connection đúng không?
The four elements mean the fire, the Pathavi mean the earth, Apo mean the water,
Water.
Tejo mean
Air. Wind.
no, the fire.
Fire.
The Vayo mean
Air.
Vayo, air. Yeah, the Vayo is air. Pathavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo. What is the Pathavi, Mr. Johnny?
Earth.
Very good. And Apo?
Water.
Good. And Tejo?
Fire.
Fire. And Vayo?
Wind or air.
Wind or air. Very good. Now we learn. The bodies or the part of the physical body composed with the four elements we call Mahabhuta Rupa. Mahabhuta Rupa. Rupa mean, what is the meaning of Rupa? Anyone understand Rupa?
Rupa is
Physical.
What?
But
material.
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 Material thing.
Yeah,
Rupa means material thing. What are the material thing? The real meaning of the material thing is what? The real meaning according to the Abhidhamma, we call destroy. For example, like if the potters, not Harry Potter, okay? The potter means the one who make pot. You know the pot?
Yes.
Or make the cup, like this cup. Cup is made of clay. Pot is made of clay. Any pot, any clay, or any cup can be forever?
Cannot forever.
Not
This
forever.
one.
Because of that, they call rupa. This form made of clay. When it made of, it's not going to be last forever. Just touching to something harder and stronger, then it will be broken. The same, our body. Our body we call rupa. The whole body we call rupa. The 4 elements we call Mahabhuta Rupa, mean the great 4 of the Rupa. All parts can be broken very easily. For example, about 5 decades ago, or even now in Africa, if you walk on the jungle, you will be hunting by the lions and tigers, and all your rupa will be easily torn out with the nail of the tigers, lion, or any beast or any animal that is easily to be tear off, is easily to be torn off and killed. That we call rupa. Maha means big. 4 big things. If one is not cooperate very well, if one is not united very well, what happens? If one is not cooperate very well, if one is not joining very well, if one could not take care very well, running into the middle of the main road or the expressway, you can be torn off, you can be killed into small pieces. That we call rupa. The natures of the rupa. The wind go out, what happened, Johnny?
Excuse me, Ajahn. Excuse me. Could you repeat your question again?
If the wind's gone out from the Mahabhuta Rupa, one of Mahabhuta Rupa, if the wind stop, what happened?
It's called when the wind stop in our body, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's called paralyzed.
Paralyzed.
Like you cannot walk.
You cannot walk.
Yeah.
You cannot do anything.
Yes.
But if stop completely, breathing in paralyzed still can be sleep, right?
Yeah, can sleep,
but if completely, totally wind's gone out, what happened?
Die.
And the body, the man we can call the coffin, right? We can call the corpse.
Cough.
Corpse. We can call the dead body. No call human being anymore.
Yeah.
That means any ununited. If United States of America divided and broken into small states, not belong to the United States, they would not call United States. But due to the many states joining together and united very well and belong to the central governments, and everybody have the same aim to make the America is a great again, like that. Because of that, the United States of America still can be called United States of America. But if the Americans only, then all the citizens surrounding around the world migrate into United States. Then, if they say that Americans only, then who is American? Indian is American, the native Indian is American, or they migrate from England is American, or the migrate from France is American, or the migrate from Middle East is American, or the migrate from Southeast Asian is American. Then who is American? That means the American is a melting pot that we call American or America. The same to one body. If the body is cooperate with the four elements, if one element is not satisfied, then jumping away, then no more body. We be dead body then instead. Okay, now 25 already been joining. Shall we go to the next step of our topic? I hope everybody okay. Sorry, not this. Okay, today I will be repeated for last. We have been last time with the G3. Anyone understand what is the G3? Anyone understand what is the G3? Johnny, did you see the notepad or the picture?
Yeah, yes, I did, Ajahn.
Okay. There's now Mr. Master is sitting and meditating, and during he meditating, along with a big Buddha in his necklace. Did you see the necklace?
Yes, I did.
Anyone remember the story of this I have told? The amulet. Anyone remember the amulet of this venerable Buddha? The most venerable have made. His name Somdet To. Somdet To, one of the supreme patriarchs of the Ratanakosin or the modern Bangkok. And he have left the food from the armor when he ate, doesn't matter any kinds of food. When he left the peel of the banana, the peel of the fruit, the food left after the finished breakfast and lunch, he would dry. When the dry, then he crunched into small piece and made the amulet Buddha. And that is very famous for the, we call the amulet, the symbolisms of Buddhist Buddha in Thailand. And that's okay. And we are coming to the, that the people in Thailand say, if anyone have owned this one, they say that blessing for them. But for now, I'm not quite sure. If anyone got this, I think it's maybe most dangerous for them, because if anyone knew that he owned this Buddha image, probably he'll be stealing and he'll be kidnapping, he'll be killing just to steal this Buddha, because it's more than 100 million baht if anyone came to own this one. That's why dangerous. But it's more easier if you own to the Mangala Sutta, if you own to the auspiciousness teachings of Lord Buddha from the number 1 now up to number 10. Last time we have Pahusatjancha Sippancha Vinayo Jasuksikito Supasita Jaya Vaja Etamangkalamuttaman. This one we have already passed. Next we go to being skillful in the technologies and handicraft, to be skillful in arts and science. And anyone have any presentation to present in the class during we are joining in this moment? Venerable Kun Kuang or Johnny or anyone?
Yes, Jan.
And do anyone have anything to present about the four of these? Pahusatyancha, Sippancha, Vinayocha, Suksikito, Supasita, all these. Know anyone have preparing to speech?
No, I'm thinking, Ajahn.
Thinking?
Yes.
Mean
But,
you
but
don't have you
yeah,
have
what?
more not preparing yet, right?
Yeah, but different subject.
Oh, it's okay. Different subject is okay. If you are preparing, okay, you can share to a friend. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone, if you have the opportunity, you prepare during we are learning about the topic because the topic is too serious. But if you have something to we call interchange between I have explained about one or two or number, then you have something to say, make the gap to entertain about the topics we are learning. I think it should be okay.
Ajahn, I have
Okay.
any suggestion about number 7.
Number
Have
7,
yes.
Kun Kwang have something to present, right? Okay.
Okay.
Uh, Johnny, let the Venerable Kun Kwang first. Okay.
And let him go first.
Okay.
It's Buddhist Meditations. That means if we look at currently situation of event among, if we just have
Maybe you have the small talk, I think.
yes, Ajahn.
When you have a small talk, somehow like it's a reflection. It's okay. Okay.
Okay. The event among, I will look at situation currently. If we just study only the Buddhist scripture, not enough currently. Not only because of the development of the country and advanced technology influence society. Even among we should know other learning like modern technology and other advanced studying like computer and internet and science and information. Because here in the Buddha mentioned about the general knowledge in Medan and to have the best learning. Because we are normal monk, if we didn't know about the other learning, if we just know even the Buddhist scripture, how can we manage our life and how can we spread our Buddha? Even we should know even like English language and like general knowledge. If we just only know by our language, we didn't spread, we didn't engage the teaching of the Buddha into the world. If we want to improve the Buddha teaching, we should learning not only for the Buddha scripture, but also international language and other information and advanced technology, something like that. This is my opinion, Ajahn.
Very good. You are correct. Because to have a wide general knowledge in mundane and supramundane levels, to have vast learning, this including everything. Pahusatyancha mean you have ever heard like a Buddha when he go to somewhere, when he met to someone plowing the soil to make a farming, he will take example from the people they are learning, they are doing in their daily life and talking about, okay, what are you doing? I'm doing so and so like this, and the general knowledge means we have to know background to every knowledge as much as possible. If you are going to give any lectures, to give any example, any knowledge about the teachings of Buddha, but if you don't know the historical backgrounds of that man or that group or that community, you will never understand their natures. When you don't understand their natures, you never be able to get into know of their general knowledge of them. Then you could not reach to the level of what their knowledge, what they are supposed to be easily understand the teachings of Lord Buddha. That means not only mentioned in this Tipitaka, because in this sutta is he have mentioned very wide and very general, mean no specific to just only teachings of Buddha, because the teachings of Buddha, what he have mentioned, one, when he went along, the Lord Buddha go along with the group of monks, about 500 monks, and he been to the group of the forest. We call the forest of Sisa, we call Sisa, mean kinds of tree. And during the summer, the leaf of the tree falling down from the tree. And the Lord Buddha just grabbed to the bunch of leaf of the tree and showed the hand with a leaf of tree, a bunch of leaf of tree, and asking to those monks that, oh, Bhikkhu, what do you think? The leaf of the tree in my hand and the leaf of the tree in the forest, which one is more? Then those bhikkhus say to him that, sir, the leaf of the tree in your hand, just a small amount. But the leaf of the tree in the forest are a lot. The leaf of the tree right now in the forest, they are more than in the hand of Lord Buddha. Then the Lord Buddha, you are right. That's true. What I have given you is just a handful of the leaf of the tree. That means the Four Noble Truth. But what I know, what I have gained, enlightened, is much like a leaf of the tree in the forest. Maybe some leaf of the tree is still on the tree, in the branch of the tree. But some leaves of the tree maybe not coming out yet. It's still on the tree, on the branch of the tree. That means it can be anything. But the Lord Buddha have gained, but he have already specific for now, for the emergency. Then he said, in the leaf of the tree is the Four Noble Truth. Is have enough for you to gain enlightened. But this for one own gain enlightened, not to give to the other. But for giving the lectures, for giving the natures of the teachings of Lord Buddha, we have to learn more. To know the natures of different human beings, different group of the people, different communities, different age of the people, then we can give them the right direct knowledge for them. For example, like Venerable Kun Kwang have said, if you don't know how to make the video, because you didn't know how to make, but you don't want to learn, then you only know how to speak. But if you know how to invent the video techniques, how to invent the YouTube, so and so, then you have more places you have more space to reach to the people like this. Then that's because of the knowledge is thing. But to be skillful, like being skillful in technologies and handicraft, to be skillful in arts and science, like you are coming to learn in the MCU. For what? You already learned some about Buddhism, but there's other science. For example, the logics, example for the English, the example for the philosophies, and other kinds of the invented by the Western people. We also have to learn, because due to the causes that the Venerable Atsuki have said to Upatissa, like Upatissa. Anyone remember the Upatissa? Do anyone remember Upatissa? Who
Yes,
is
yes.
Upatissa?
Venerable Sariputta.
Very good. Thank you. Venerable Sariputta was the Paripajaka, we call Upatissa, or he was a layman before his name is Upatissa. And during his became Achivaka or Paripajaka. Paripajaka, one group of the renunciation or renouncing the world, belong to the group of Sanchai Paripajaka. I hope that everybody remember Sanchai Paripajaka, right?
Yes.
And after he learned from Sanchai Paripajaka for a few days, then Sanchai Paripajaka said that all my knowledge is gone. Then Upatissa thought that maybe he's searching for another knowledge more. And he's traveling and roaming all over Jambudvipa in those days. And trying to find out who is the master, who is a great master. And before that, he go for asking for, but most after that, when he go anywhere, he can only do solving the problem for them. Because when he's discussing and with anyone, no one can answer him. And after that, he only go for answering to any questions of other sannyasi or the renouncing ordination of that day. But when he been back to his town, the capital Rajguru, and he made to Atsuki. Venerable Atsuki have been for Ambo in the morning. His actions is very calm and peaceful. And then Upatissa remarked about that. And then following step by step, when Atsuki had been somewhere and start for breakfast, when he look for the water, then he offering water. The Upatissa have offering waters, and after that discussing the whom do you belong to and whose teaching you are satisfying with. Then Atsuki have told about the Buddha. Then Upatissa have requested that please tell me. And then Atsuki have said that I just know only little. I just newcomer into this teaching. Then I didn't know much, but Upatissa have said that don't talk much. Talk much as you know. Then he start Ye Dhamma Hetu Papava Te Sam Hetum Tathagato Te Sanja Niroto Ja Ewang Wadi Mahasamano. That means the teachings of Lord Buddha's teaching is the causes and the result or the reason of the causes. This is the teaching of the Mahasamana, mean the great Buddha. Upatissa just only listened to this poem, the prosody, and he gained the the first stream of the Sotapanna. That mean this Four Noble Truth mean the cause and the result, the cause and reason, or the cause and effect. The teachings of Lord Buddha is just enough for one own to gain enlightenment. But after that, one to prove about Pau Satyancha, Sippancha, about Pau Satyancha and Sippancha. One, when they are somewhere in the forest near to Sravasti, the full moon day, and the great noble monk, for example, Mahakaspa, the Venerable Mahakaspa, have made to Ananda, the Venerable Ananda, and talk to the Venerable Ananda that Ananda, today is full moon day, and do you have some suspect that some remark that why do the significant days in the full moon days? Why do the significant days on the full moon days? Because those days is the moon. Anyone can go in the night without the light, without torch. That make the reason. No need to lighting the candles or the light. That due to that situation, the Venerable Mahakaspa said to that Ananda, today we will go to meet the Venerable Sariputta together. But when the Mahakaspa and Ananda walk, the Mokkhalana have remarked that, oh, these two great monks now going somewhere. Maybe they go somewhere. Then following, then they go to again meet to another Venerable. If I'm not misunderstood, will be Venerable Punna or something, or Varevata, the brothers of the Sariputta. When all these gathering together and made the Venerable Sariputta in the forest, those days, probably in the summer, the sala tree, very, very fruit, very flowerful. The flowers of the sala trees shown the smell throughout the forest. When they reach there in the full moon night, and then each one have seen to each one and say greeting to each one. Then it's starting from the Sariputta that, oh, tonight is bright full with the moon and with a very good smell of the sala tree, and what would be discussing today. And then it's starting from like Sariputta, but I don't remember what is Sariputta have proposed. But I remember Ananda, Venerable Ananda have said that the full moon days, night like this, we should discuss about many subjects, because the Venerable Ananda is great in Pau Satyancha, mean Pau Sutta. And then the Venerable Mahakaspa have mentioned that he discussed, oh, the full moon night like this, we better gathering with a group of the monk who is practicing with Tudongka or Tutanka. And the Venerable Mokkhalana have preferred that, oh, with the full moon night like this, we should discuss with the Dhamma, And like this, you see, different venerable monk, different we call skillful, and one skillful to each one. That means they discuss together. Then one skillful exchange to another one skillful with something else. That means more skillful we belong to everyone. Thank you, Venerable Kun Kwang, for the proposing about the general knowledge of Pao Satchancha. Johnny, are you ready? Johnny,
Yes, Jan. I'm
are
ready.
you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready, Jan. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, good.
Okay, I have an interesting topic.
Mhm.
Mm. Can I start now?
Yes, all right.
My topic is silence is golden.
Simon,
Is golden.
Simon is golden. What is Simon?
Silent means you stay quiet.
Oh, silent, silent. Sorry. Okay,
Silence is golden.
okay. Silent is golden. We have one
Yeah.
slogan in Thai also. We call Ning Sia Tam Lung Thong. Mean if we cannot arguing to the Palanam, we better keep quiet because the keep quiet is golden. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then
Yes.
silence is better than speaking because speaking too much can make us trouble for other people and other the speaker.
Mm.
Mm. The people who knowing the benefit of silence is always keep himself and avoid speaking too much. Because whatever he speaks that is useful for himself as well as for others. And he only speak at the right and suitable time. It means the right time and the right place. He knows that the more he speak, the more mistake he can make. But the foolish does not know. Whatever he likes, he will speak. The foolish man never consider what he is speaking, whether right or wrong, suitable or unsuitable time. But speaking too much and consider the consequence is the consequence of speaking too much is condemn. You know, Ajahn, do you know the meaning of
Yeah.
condemn?
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce this one.
Condemn.
Condemn,
Condemn very much like damage.
damage. Yeah. That is why silence is golden. If you have nothing to say, just keep silent because if you speak too much, the more you speak and the more you make mistake.
Very good.
Yeah. That's all I would like to present my topic for today, Ajahn. Thank
We
you
have
for
one slogan in Thai. We have one more slogan in Thai. We call ไม่รู้ไม่ชี้ ไม่รู้ไม่ชี้ mean if you don't know better not show. Mean according to this philosophies in Thai ไม่รู้ไม่ชี้ one of the books have mentions about by the most venerable Prabuddha about 2548. He have mentioned that the most of the Buddhists in Thailand, not specific Buddhists, the people in Thailand, those days is not popular for the internet yet. It's not popular like as the internet yet. But he have mentioned one topic that most of the people, they don't know much, but they like to speak. They just speak out without learning. Mean they just speak, okay, I know everything, but I don't know anything. Mean, what do you know? But what do you know? But I don't know. But he speak, they speak. And like this, what you say, in this modern day, if we talk too much about something is not belong to our situation, it will be dangerous to us too, especially for the political unrest, the leader power, and so many things. Or paranam. If you talk about the bad guy in this modern day, it will bring a lot of suffering to us. Even that is the truth, but we cannot talk. It's the same to what you say. To be silent is golden. Because we cannot mention through the truth thing to someone who is not the wise man. The wise man will scare of, we call hiri. Hiri mean afraid of things, speaks and doing bad thing. Those who is a palanam, they never afraid of it. They will do all things. Then if anyone say against them, they will be very harmful to the one who is saying. That's why when we take example to teach about the Mangala Sutta, especially for the Asevana Palanam or Panchitan and the Sevana or Puja Puchaniyanam, we better quote or prefer or reference to Tipitaka story or Tipitaka Chataka is better. Because no harm to one is going to say. But when we take this, show the sample, most of the people not going to satisfy. Because most of the people like violence. Most of the people like cursing to the other one. Most of the people like disturb to the other one. Most of the people are jealous to the other one. Most of the people dislike to the bad, but they want the fruit of the dislike immediately. That's why they say without learning is a helpful or unhelpful like this. I think very true, Johnny. Thank you for bringing the silent is golden to share to everyone.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
one of the being skillful in technologies and handicraft, to be skillful in art and science. It belongs to in arts and science. The science anyone can learn. For example, like the science of the technologies, the science of the YouTuber, the science of blogger, the science of website, so many kinds of science, so many kinds of information. But to be skillful in that art, for example, silence is golden. The one who is going to understand about the silence is golden mean one who is being aware about the arts of the speech. Don't have the skillful to speak something, then bring the dangerous to oneself. Even that thing is the truth. Because the truth, we cannot avoid. The truth of the suffering, what I have said, the functions of the truth, the Four Noble Truth, they are four. Dukkha Satya. Only we learn to know, to understand it. Samudaya Satya. We must learn what is the cause of the suffering. We must learn the cause of the suffering, according to the teachings of Buddha, is the most causes to be suffering is to be born, to be born. If you already been born, then you already suffering. But how to be less suffering? You have to learn to be skillful and to be in the art, how to show on the speech, on the actions, and on your mind that not going to be harmful to yourself. Then someone may complain that means you are scared of the truth. Yes, anyone scared of the truth. We must understand, because the truth no one can, the suffering no one can throw away, because the one already bad is already bad. No one can change the bad into the good. I said it because I want that man to be good. No, you can't do, because in their hand they have a big gun, they have a weapon. You cannot change the bad into the good. But the good is, how could you take care of yourself, being out of that harmful or dangerous. This is very, very active teaching. I think even Lord Buddha have been lectures for 2005 or 600 years ago in Chetavana. It's still very helpful and very helpful up to this day. Next, should we wait for the next day for number 9 and number 10? Learning and abiding by the rule of conduct and discipline laid down by the Buddha for lay devotees and monks to be learning in the moral discipline. I think this is a big topic. It's about our lay people. And speaking what is true, pleasant, beneficial to others, to speak good words. And this even very much explained with the skillful about the speech, but it's still explainable. It's still very handful of the explainable. If you can see any example, like I have shown on the Sotapatiyanga Dhamma, mean the part of the Makka. Make sure that if anyone being straight directly to this four, it make sure in the future that will be associated to the Sotapatiyanga Dhamma, mean you are on the way of the Sotapanna. Saprisu Samsewa. Saprisu Samsewa mean associating to the wise 100 or 7 billions people around the globe. If you cannot find the good one associated to the topic of teachings, just one teachings of Lord Buddha, For example, the Four Noble Truths: just, will, thoughtful, speechful, actionful, livelihoodful, effortful, right effort, mindfulness, concentration to the teaching of Lord Buddha. Then you will be on the stream. Satthamma savana means any Dhamma, any opportunity to listen about the teaching or the truth of the Dhamma. Don't say yes or no too immediately, and listen to what is the Dhamma discussing, or the Venerable is discussing, or the friend is talking. Then bring to the number 3, Yodiso Manasikara, at just making well mindfulness in your mind that it is true or right or wrong. Or then number 4, Dhamma Patipati. It's good practicing, following up to the great Dhamma. Or if not true, just forget it and practicing what is the Dhamma that you have learned. For example, Dukkha Satya. What is our duty with Dukkha Satya? Learning to know. What is our duty with Dukkha Samudaya Satya? Avoid the bad thing. Avoid the cause of the suffering. Dukkha Nirodha Satya. What is the number 3? Make clear in your mind what is the Nirodha or what is the Nibbana. Number 4, Nirodha, Dukkha Nirodha Kamini Patipatthana, or we call Paveda Pathamma. That is learning, developing, motivating, cultivating, inspiring to happen in our own, that we call Dhamma no Dhamma Patipati. Then when you are practicing all these 4 completely, the number 4 of this will be confirmed. You are firmly confident in Buddha. You are firmly confident with the Dhamma. You are firmly confident with the Sangha. You are firmly confident with your own threefold teaching or Trisikha that we are going to learn. Learning and abiding by the rule of the conduct and discipline laid out by the Buddha for lay devotees and monks to be learned in the moral discipline number 9 and number 10 next week. And may all this discussing, may all this presentation you have been joining, may all of you who be able to join or not be able to join due to the many causes. For example, in Myanmar, maybe this situation is not available for the internet. Some of your friends may not be able to join. Sorry for that. Or doesn't matter, any causes. But we watch again and again, developing your skill in English or in your language, doesn't matter. Along with the 5 topics, significance of the topic, the historical background with the meaning, with the artist style, with the meanings, and with the purpose of what we are studying, then it will bring you to be fruitful of learning. Okay, any recommends, any discussing? I will start from the Bernard Excel, Venerable Bernard Excel. Who is Bernard Excel? Are you still online?
Yes, Ajahn.
Bernard Excel is Kun Kuang or who? Bernard Excel, no online. How Biwe Vinaya? No, no in the moment. Chanda, Venerable Chanda, no in the moment. English fun is Johnny, right?
Yes, it's me, Jan. English fun is me.
Anything to say before class over?
Hello.
Oh, let Chanda first. Okay, Chanda, do you have anything to say
Yes,
before the class over? Chanda? Chanda? Maybe internet not good. Johnny, okay, you are.
Okay. I would like to say thank you, Ajahn, for coming and teaching us, for sharing your knowledge.
Great.
Okay.
Next, Chao Colinda.
Excuse me, Ajahn, can I leave now? My battery is low.
Okay.
Thank you. See you next week, Ajahn.
Next week. Okay, next, Chao Colinda. Or Chao Nanda.
Yeah.
Who's Chao Colinda, right?
Yes.
Do you have anything to say?
No, teacher. So listen to you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. Chao Nanda.
Yes, John.
Do you have anything to say before class over?
Yes.
What?
Yes, Ajahn.
Do you have anything to say before class over?
I have nothing to say because just now can I leave?
Okay. Thank you very much for joining. Next,
Okay.
Chao
Okay,
Yana
Ajahn.
Wamsha. Chao Yana Wamsha.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything to say before the class over?
Nothing, sir.
Thank you for joining today.
Thank you.
You may go for lunch. Next, Chao Sandawara. Next,
Yes, sir.
Chao Sandawara.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say?
Yes. Thank you for some knowledge that you given us. Thank you very much.
Thank you for you too. See you next week.
See you.
Thank you. Next, Kun Burn. Are you ready?
Yeah, teacher.
Kun Burn, do you have anything to say?
I have a little bit, Ajahn, because I'm not happy. I'm a little bit depressed because I saw the broken news in Myanmar every day.
Okay.
Okay.
Nothing we can do because you are in Thailand. Okay. Okay. Next, Ko Palong. Do you have anything to say? Ko Palong. Mamale.
Ajahn.
Ko Palong.
Yes, Ajahn.
Do you have anything to say?
Nothing, Ajahn.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining. Mamale. Mamale.
Yes, I can listen to you.
Do you have anything to say before the class over?
I want to say thank you, teacher, for coming teach us today. And
Thank
see
you
you
for
next week.
joining too. Enjoy the lunch.
Yes.
Okay. See you next week.
See you, Ajahn.
Okay. Min Ong
Yes.
Mulin.
Yes.
Mulin, are you online?
Yes, Chan. I online.
Okay. Do you have anything to say before class over?
Oh, not yet, Chan. Everything is fine.
Okay.
First
Are
thing.
you okay in Myanmar? No dangers?
Yes. A lot of demonstration. So nice here, Chan. Here, every corner, they demonstrate to
Oh,
the military.
okay. Take care of yourself. Okay.
Yes, Chan. Yes.
Okay. Take care. Bye bye. See you next week.
Bye bye, Chan. Thank you.
Bye. Next, Panya Wamsa.
Yes, Ajahn.
Do you have anything to say before the class over?
Yes, very good, Ajahn. Very good.
Very good.
Yes.
Can you prepare something to talk next class?
Yes.
Try, okay?
Okay, Ajahn.
Try to do your best. Thank you for joining today. Next, Sir Taisit. Sir Taisit, are you okay? Sir Taisit, are you okay? Yana, Uyana,
Yes, Ajahn.
do you have
Yes,
anything
teacher.
to say before the class over?
Yes, you teach our very good, Ajahn. We got many knowledge. So thank you very much, Ajahn.
Okay, try to prepare something to talk to Joy, okay? Prepare something, just maybe 1 or 2 lines to share in each day, okay? Thank you for joining today. Okay, Su Tai Sit, are you okay?
Okay, Ajahn.
Su Tai Sit, are you okay?
Yes, okay, Ajahn.
Do you have anything to
Yeah,
say?
Ajahn.
And thank you very much for joining today. See you next
Yes,
class.
teacher.
Yes? Su Tai Sit, are you
Yes.
saying something? Are you all right?
Yes, I'm right. How about you, teacher?
Yes, I'm okay. And are you in the campus or are you in Myanmar?
I in the temple in Pathum
Oh,
Thani, Ajahn.
oh, okay. Take care.
Yes.
Take care, okay? Have a good days and have a good lunch. See you next class. Thank you
Okay,
to
teacher.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much to teacher.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Now the class is over. Thank you to every student who have been joining for today. Anyway, in this moment, I would like to say sorry to every monks who not be able to join according to the situations of the political unrest in Myanmar because of the run of the internet in Myanmar or anything. And thank you to everyone who has been joining. Hope see you again next class. Thank you for the joining today. Goodbye to everyone.
Yes, goodbye, Ajahn.
กายที่เธอมองเห็นว่างามสุดท้ายความเสื่อมทรามจะมาพร ราไปร่วงโรยลงในสายทานยามการเวลาหมุนไปชีวิตต้องแตกสลายไม่มีเที่ยงแท้ผมเส้นงามถึงคราวร่วงไปแขนขาที่เคยว่องไวกลับไร้เรี่ยวแรงโรคภัยเฝ้าคอยคุกคามติดตามไปในทุกแห่งเกิดแก่เจ็บตายสำแดงเป็นธรรมดาหากเธอมองทุกการเกิดมาที่